How to take notes effectively in Obsidian. Obsidian is one of the best note-taking tools because it helps you think and not just store information. Instead of dumping notes into folders and forgetting them, Obsidian lets your notes connect and grow over time. Now, this is what makes it perfect for studying, research work, and long-term learning. So first of all, you need to set up Obsidian on your system. You're going to go to your web browser, type in Obsidian, select the version which suits your system best, and then install it. Once you install Obsidian, you're going to run it, and then you will be taken towards creating your first vault. You're going to put in the name for your vault, and then you will land here on Obsidian. Now, this is a vault in which a lot of notes have been put in, so that's why you have this list here and this graph here. If you have a new vault, it is going to look something like this, which we're just going to create. If you're someone who has been using Obsidian, then you're going to have a vault which looks like this. In order to work on your notes creation, you're going to create a new vault. So go down here to the vaults, and then you're going to click on manage vault, and then you are going to create a new vault. Decide a nice name for your vault and decide a location for it as well. And I've given it a simple name, my knowledge vault, and selected a location for this, and then click on create. Here is our new vault for those people who have just come to Obsidian and created their vault. This or only vault is going to look like. For people who do have several notes, when you create several vaults, when you create your new vault, this is what it's going to look like. Down here, you're going to have all of your notes. This is going to be your note over here, and this is the title of your note, which is going to be displayed in the notes here. And then to the right, you can see you have your graph view, and in the graph view, you can see that your note is represented by the small circle here. All your notes are going to be represented by that, and then you can create links between your note. If you want to get the graph view, for example, if I remove this view from here and I need the graph view again, you're going to go to the left, click on the second symbol. It says open graph view, and then here you'll be able to see your graph view. Now, in order to split the screen like you had before, you're going to go up to the three dots here, click on split right, and then your screen will be split. So you can keep this one, and then you can open up your note on this one like this, and then you can adjust how the screen is split too. And then in order to have effective note taking, of course, you need to know how to take your notes. So if you click here, you can create your new note and change the title for it. As soon as a new note is created, you'll be able to see it in the graph view over here. And you're also going to be using folders and subfolders to organize your notes. So for that, you're going to click here and you'll be able to create a folder. You can give the folder any title of your choice. So inside the folder, you can put in another folder, and then you have a subfolder, and then you can put a note inside that subfolder. And then if you open up the subfolder, you'll have a note inside there. So folder, subfolder, and note. And this is a note which does not have any folder. So in order to have effective note taking, or to make your note taking more effective, what you need to do first of all, something that I would suggest, is make up 3 folders. So I'm going to remove all this excess from here, delete. This is how you delete a note, and then right click, go down, delete the folders as well, delete any kind of excess you have, and then just delete all this. And what you're going to do is you're going to create 3 folders. So 1, 2, and 3 folders, and I'm going to name these folders inbox, notes, and references. So you're going to have inbox here, and then for this one, you're going to have right click, rename inbox, note, and the third one is going to be references. Now, this setup, these folders that we have just created are going to create divisions, and then these divisions or setups is going to keep everything very simple. So a inbox that you have here is going to be for quick notes, any quick notes that you need to take, and then the notes folder is going to be for clean, useful ideas that you have thought up on, and then these are going to be just clear thoughts and clean and useful ideas. And then you have the references down here. References is going to be for sources and for materials. So any sources, any materials that you need to keep handy, you're going to put them right in here. So we're quickly going to go to our inbox, and then we are going to create some notes for this. So our first note that we're going to create, after you create the note, you're going to put it in here, or you could do that now, but then you're going to edit this. So in order to put a note inside a folder, you're going to create it and you're going to drag and drop this inside. So we're going to rename our first note, something which is going to help you greatly in capturing your notes. That is going to be quick notes. So anything, for example, anytime you watch a video or you read an article or you get any kind of idea, you're going to write it here first. So when you create these folders and these notes, you need to set some rules as well. So anytime you get an idea, this is where it's going to come first. This is where the writing comes. This is the first place where it's going to be. So don't worry about structure or tags or formatting at this point. Don't worry about any of that yet. The goal is basically to capture your thoughts and your ideas in writing, and you do not need to worry about perfection yet. This is going to remove friction and it's going to help you take more notes consistently. So I'm going to go up and delete this note from here because you want to be organized as you go. Then I'm going to open up the notes folder, which has nothing in there. So I'm going to create a note for the notes folder, and then I'm going to put that note in there, and I'm going to rename this note. So let's erase that. And the system that I wanted to create for the notes folder here is that I want to have a separate note for every clear idea. So for example, we decided that all the ideas were going to go in inbox, and then the noted ideas, any clear ideas, are going to go in the notes folder. So every clear idea is going to get its own note and its own title. So one clear idea is, for example, time blocking. So I'm going to put that note in here. I'm going to title it time blocking, press enter, and then I have a separate note on time blocking. I'm going to create another note. I'm going to title that one second brain. So second brain concept. And so the second note that we're creating is going to be named second brain concept. And this is our second note over here. You can see that it has been entered into the graph view as well. So what we're going to do here is when we've created our notes for the notes folder, we're going to put the note in here. And then you can move any useful points from your inbox into these notes and rewrite them in your own words. So for example, we have our quick notes in here. And then if we have any useful notes in there, we can bring them to the notes folder. So effective notes, you need to remember, are short, they are clear, and they are reusable. They are definitely not going to be copied context, a copied text. So you don't want to copy text from anywhere and bring that here. That is not what Obsidian is for. You need to be mindful and you need to set some rules when you create your new vault. You need to make sure that only clear notes are entered in this vault. You need to make sure that each note focuses on one idea only. So if you have, for example, a note that I would term as a bad note would be a note which has one long paragraph with many topics. So if there's a note which has just, a lot of topics in one paragraph, then that is going to be a bad note. A good note would be a note in which there is one idea per note. So in every note, you would just discuss one idea and it would have a simple explanation and just one or two examples. So that is going to make your note easier to link, easier to remember, and easier to reuse later. And when you have any two notes that are related, you want to create a link for them. Don't forget to create those links. That is very useful. So for example, if we say that this inbox, the quick notes are related to time blocking. So although this doesn't make a relation here, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you how to create a link. So in quick notes, you could link up time blocking here. And what you're going to do is you're going to add in the two square brackets, and inside those brackets, you're going to write in time blocking, or you will get a suggestion. So I'm just going to click this one here and press enter, and then your link has been made. Now, if you see, this is the link, it's been created. And if you look at the graph view, you can see that a link has been created between the time blocking and the quick notes, and now they have a link between them. And this makes it much easier for access as well. So for example, if I'm on my quick notes, I need to jump to time blocking. I'll just click here and then I'll be taken to the time blocking note instantly. So these links are actually going to turn your notes into a knowledge system instead of isolated files. Now you can also add tags to your notes. So if you want to add in a tag, you're going to press in hash and then you're going to give it the link name that you want to name. For example, so you can name it to review. So this could be a note that you need to review later, and you're just going to press enter, and then that link has been created. And when you go here, you can type in the hashtag and you're going to type into review, and then only that note which has this tag is going to appear. And this is going to be very useful, but you need to remember not to overuse this. So I showed you how to do this so I could talk about not overusing the hashtag. So these tags are optional and you are going to use them only for topics like writing or a status like to review or productivity, and avoid tagging everything. So don't add in tags for every note, only add it in for the notes that you really need to add in a tag for. Links are going to matter here more than tags in Obsidian. So here in Obsidian, you want to concentrate more on the links. Links are what matter more in Obsidian, and tags don't matter as much. You can use them, but links matter more than tags in Obsidian, and you need to keep that in mind while organizing your notes. Remember to use a daily notes, which you can access over here. So if you click on daily notes here, you can access this daily, and the title of the date is going to be present there. And every day you can take your notes. You can use them for daily thoughts or any meeting notes or study summaries. And then later you can link any of those useful ideas from your daily notes into your permanent notes. So for example, if we've created this note and we note down whatever notes that we need to take, and then you can save that note, you notice that this note is useful and you want to upgrade this note to a permanent note, then you're going to click and you're going to drag it into your permanent note. And then you can also rename it if you want to rename it into something else, which reminds you what it's for, then you can rename this as well. So once a week, what you need to do is review and improve your notes. You want to be reviewing them. You want to improve your notes on a weekly basis. So for that, what you're going to do is you're going to open your inbox. So this is our inbox folder, and you're going to open up those notes, and you are going to clean any unfinished notes. You're going to add links where needed. And this small habit is going to keep your Obsidian vault useful long term. You also want to avoid some common mistakes, which are that you need to avoid writing too much in one note. So for example, if you have a note and you're writing too much in that note, then it's not going to be helpful. You do not want to copy paste without understanding. This is also something that you want to avoid. Don't copy paste without understanding, because that is going to kill the whole concept of using Obsidian as an effective note-taking tool. You also don't want to overuse folders and tags. That is not going to help you save time. Don't overuse folders, don't overuse tags. The main purpose of using these is to be able to find and organize your notes quickly. And if you're using too much of this, then that is not going to save your time and is going to not help you. Then you also want to avoid trying to build a perfect system on day one. So this is our first day here. We're not going to build any perfect system. We're just going to focus on taking our notes and getting our ideas in writing. And we're not going to build anything perfect just in one day. Also remember that simple systems scale better. So don't try to overcrowd your system and make it very complicated. So effective note-taking in Obsidian isn't about features, it's about thinking clearly. When your notes are short, linked, and written in your own words, Obsidian becomes a second brain that actually works.